Chancellor attempted to kick-start the ailing motor industry by announcing his car scrappage scheme. £2,000 will be available for anyone who wants to trade in a 10-year-old car for a new one. Our business correspondent Emma Simpson reports.
Old bangers like these may soon be worth a lot more than just scrap. And more of them, even perfectly good ones, could now end up in the shredder. The reason? If you've got a car older than 10 years and scrap it, you'll get up to £2,000 towards a new model, half of it paid by the government.
It's a big cash incentive to scrap an old car and buy something new. This is all about stimulating demand to help an industry on its knees. Sounds simple, but will it work?
It's been very popular in Germany. Sales there were up 40% last month. Many other European countries are doing similar trade-ins too. Britain's scheme is more modest and it's got plenty of critics. But on the production line at Nissan's plant in Sunderland today, the boss believes it's a positive step.
On the face of it, it's be very good for the consumer. It's obviously going to be good for the environment in terms of replacing 10-year-old cars with newer ones, and hopefully it'll put that stimulus in the market.
But will it be tempting enough? At this car auction in Coventry, there was a mixed reaction from buyers.
You've still got to end up spending whatever, 12,000 or whatever. So what's the 2,000 they're giving you?
We're looking for a low CC because the insurance is so expensive. It would be he couldn't afford the insurance on a new car.
With its thousands of unsold cars, this industry needs the customers to return. After months of pleading, it's got a government handout, but the car companies will have to stump up half the costs. Emma Simpson, BBC News.
Well, today's budget came against the backdrop of more grim news on jobs. Unemployment has risen to its highest level since Labour came to power in 1997. The number of people looking for work jumped by 177,000 in the 3 months to February to reach 2.1 million, the biggest quarterly rise since 1991. Our home editor, Mark Easton, joins us now from South Wales. Mark.
Yes, George, I'm in Blaenau Gwent, which has one of the highest unemployment rates in the country. 1 in 12 of the working-age population are now claiming job seekers allowance here. Among the under-25s, it's 1 in 5. If the promises of a budget for jobs mean anything, they'll have to work here.
There was no boom in Blaenau Gwent. As the rest of the country got richer, parts of South Wales actually got poorer. And now the recession is kicking them when they're down.
Nowhere in Britain is suffering more than the communities in the valleys of South Wales. The scar left by the old steelworks here in Ebbw Vale offers the promise of regeneration, but the outlook is bleak indeed.
Today's figures show 1 in 5 young people are on the dole here, a generation which feels betrayed before they've left home.
I've asked in shops up in Ebbw Vale, but they say there's no jobs. And most of them, they want CVs now. When you've got CVs then, they're not taking on.
Yeah.
So by CVs you mean your previous work experience?
Yeah.
We want jobs and then we're sitting in our houses bored and nothing to do and that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like now, I'm thinking, what am I going to be able to do when I'm older?
Blaenau Gwent want to build the foundations for recovery, hoping for a fair share of the billions announced today for the jobless by a chancellor who fears another lost generation.
Hardly any of my family worked. My mother didn't work. My dad hadn't worked.
What, never worked?
No, not really.
You got a brother as well?
Yeah, his older brother. He hasn't worked.
There's a waiting list for places at this training school, and yet the engineering classroom lies idle because they can't afford the staff.
People are being let down. It's not through the efforts of the people at the training centre that they're being let down. It's through the fact of partly the recession and partly the difficulty with getting hold of money.
So you're looking for a driver's job somewhere nearby. Yeah. Press the button, see what we get. Lorry driver John asks the job centre computer for local vacancies and is told of part-time jobs in Ipswich and Leeds. You will travel?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
There just isn't anything.
Nothing at all.
Hi Lyndon, my name's Julie.
Lyndon, who retrained as a printer after being made redundant from the steelworks 30 years ago, is now advised to look for work beyond the valley.
I totally feel as if I'm letting my family down at this time and moment. Although my wife is working and got in full-time employment, I feel that I should be working. Simple as that.
It was a budget for jobs, we're told, new training opportunities for the unemployed, particularly the young. But they've had lots of schemes here over the years. What Blaenau Gwent really needs are jobs.
And a lot's going to depend, frankly, on what happens in the regeneration of the old steel works below me. Construction jobs, it promises. But 700 houses, plans for those are on hold. And frankly, any big ideas for the moment for the South Wales valleys are also on hold. George.
Mark, thank you. And to work out how the budget affects you, log on to bbc.co.uk/budget and you can find it on that webpage. Other news now. Police have released the last of the 12 suspects rounded up in a series of anti-terror raids earlier this month in northwest England. At the time, Gordon Brown said the authorities were investigating a major terrorist plot, but all the suspects have been released without charge. 11 of them are facing deportation to Pakistan.